Hi, we're here at the Miami Boat Show and we're interviewing Chris Carstens, one of our clients, about the Yacht-as-a-Business program.
Well, I think my journey is over probably 2 years now. When I first came to the Miami Boat Show 2 years ago and signed on the line, and my boat's been in business for a little over a year now, so it's working out quite well. Hi, my name is Chris Carstens. I live in Houston. I'm still fully employed with my full-time job, and I bought a Helia Fontaine Peugeot in 2017, and I started it in the Dream Yacht Performance Program based in Grenada. So the performance program is where the owner essentially leases the boat back to the charter company. So I take care of all the expenses and the maintenance and the dinghy, well, not the dinghy, but the docking fees and things like that. And the Dream takes care of hiring customers and doing marketing for the boat. The part that attracted me the most was the tax benefits of the program. Talking with an accountant and several other specialists in this area, it looks like I was able to depreciate the boat against my adjusted gross income from basically my corporate job. And that was a significant tax savings for me personally.
Yacht-as-a-Business program is really a good program because it helps you offset the cost of ownership through available tax advantages. There's certain deliverables you need to be sure of and do your due diligence. One of the most important things is your co-management partner needs to be able to deliver the financials in your financial plan. You can't go into a business and do 2 weeks or 3 weeks or limited amount of charter with the complete knowledge that you're not going to make a profit, with the intent of not making a profit. So first criteria is to be absolutely sure that your partner is able to deliver the financials that you base your business plan.
So Chris, how about owner's use and the financial projections that Dream Yacht gave you?
So I'm just finishing up my books for last year, and I was pretty impressed with how well I did financially on the boat usage. I tallied up my days of usage, and I had over 160 days of revenue income for last year. So I'll make a pretty decent profit against all my expenses, against my mortgage, against insurance and everything. So it's a legitimate business. So I was, there's a bit of luck with where I was based was pretty active, and people like my boat and so forth. But for the IRS, the first year I had in full year in revenue stream, it worked out. Be a little careful with the performance plan on the owner's use. If you intend to use the boat a lot for yourselves, you might want to consider another plan. Or you do as I do. When I use my owner's time, I may just pay the retail rate on the website, and 65% of that's going to come back to me anyway. So it looks better to the IRS for my business program to not use as much owner's time. And if I have friends or colleagues that want to book the boat, I tell them to book retail, don't use my owner's time, and then I also get a referral fee. So it's really, they can get the boat at a good discount, or I get the boat at a good discount, and it is a business for the IRS. So that's the best way to manage using your owner's time, and we still use the boat a lot, but I pay the retail rate occasionally, but I get the 65% back.
And how about several people came to us and said, well, I only need to charter my boat maybe 8 to 10 weeks, and that'll do it for the IRS. Is that true in your experience?
I don't think you will make enough revenue to make a profit. I have enough revenue in this last year to show that I have a legitimate business. So I feel pretty comfortable, and I've hired an outside CPA accountant here in Miami that does my boat business. He does the LLC, and I get a K-1 from him, and I input that into my own tax program, and I keep my QuickBooks, and it's not that much work at the end of the year to compile it all and submit with my regular IRS forms.
Met a really good tax attorney, worked for the IRS as a litigator on their behalf, is now in the private domain. And I was extremely interested to hear that a lot of these programs being this tax advice and business advice being handed out at these boat shows like chicken wings at a fair actually are quite risky. And the risk that I'm seeing is that there is a hobby loss situation. It appears that a lot of people claim to be in business but are absolutely not in business. So we're going to go back and reevaluate all the plans we've sold to see if actually we're in compliance and none of our clients have the risk of hobby loss. I think it's something to be quite cautious of, that you're not buying a boat and doing hobby loss unbeknownst to yourself because you've been given incorrect advice.
We gave you some financials and projections. I know several companies do that, several dealers give you the similar advice. Why did you specifically decide to go with Dream Yacht?
Well, I've looked at the various technical terms, financials for each program, and I started my journey with another broker, but when I looked at the Dream program, the number of bases, I think it helps to have a number of boats in the program so that they have a number of customers to help justify the projected charter revenue. So there are, with the performance program, as I mentioned earlier, it's kind of like a lease. I have to be aware and pay the mooring fees, maybe utility fees, and a big one now, and every owner should study this carefully, is the insurance cost after the hurricane. So you have to be aware of those and project them into your financial budget for when you're making the purchase.
A lot of people are always very concerned about whether or not their boat will get eaten up in a charter fleet like this.
Yes, there is wear and tear. Boats do definitely show wear and tear. It depends on which program you're in. If you're in a tax or performance program, you have complete control and say over maintenance, over location, over the occupancy, the level of occupancy of the boat, and you're also able to, if you feel you've made a bad decision, able to leave within 6 months. So the level of maintenance in the performance program tends to be better because the owners are more engaged and active.
You say that the maintenance on your boat is fairly good. We've heard other stories that are not so great. Why do you think you're having such a great experience? Is it maybe because you're an engaged owner, the base that you chose? Tell us about that.
Well, you have to stay on top of the base. I try and personally stay engaged with the base manager and the maintenance crew. Whenever I visit the boat, we go over the checklists, the maintenance and servicing program, and I try and make sure that things are getting done properly. After 160 some days of usage, there's not really a scratch on it. It's in really good shape. I'm impressed. We're keeping up with the maintenance and doing the normal care for service, but it's pretty good shape. Well, I don't have any dings. I haven't had any major breakdowns in any of the systems, the water makers, the generators, the air conditioners. No nicks or groundings on the boat. So I've had some good customers. I think Dream does a good job in vetting the skippers that they charter to. It's a challenge for these bases to manage a large fleet of boats, and as an owner and an engineer by trade, I want to make sure my boat's getting serviced properly.
You as an owner, once you go into the program with the Dream Yacht or one of the other charter companies, but let's talk about Dream Yacht, you have an owner care person, is that correct?
Yes, I deal with Morgan, and I also have access to the Sedna schedule. I can see when my boat's in or out. I have a GPS tracking system, and if there's any problem with maintenance, I usually go to Morgan first and then maybe the base manager, but she is very responsive in getting back to me with any questions I have on any of the warranty processes or anything major that needs to be repaired or fixed. So it's good to have a working relationship with the people that are taking care of your boat.
Chris, did you have any choice as far as the layout of your boat and how you're going to use your boat?
Well, everybody has a choice. For this size model, there's the 3-cabin version, the owner's version, and then there's the 4-cabin version. We picked the 3-cabin version for a couple of reasons. The first is we want to have the boat someday to ourselves, and the single owner's suite on the starboard side, if you will, is a beautiful layout. And some people argue that, well, if you have a 4-cabin version, you're more likely to get more charter business. But I don't know, I think when you put 8 people or more on a boat like this, it just becomes a bit too crowded for the galley work and the dinghies and all that. So, and it maybe makes the boat a little overworked. So we're happy with the 3-cabin version, and as I said earlier, we've had plenty of charter customers, and I think if we would have crammed another cabin in there, maybe there'd be more wear and tear, and and on some of the facilities and utilities inside the boat. So it was a good choice for us.
So Chris, you told me that this was part of your retirement plan. Tell us about that.
Well, I think when the boat's ready to come out of the charter program, we'd like to take it over full time. Maybe we'll continue to charter on our own a little bit as a small mom and pop business, but we'll definitely want the boat more for ourselves. So I really wish I would have started this program 2 or 3 years earlier, so if I retire next year, the boat's ready to come back to us. But so far, so good, and we can always, the way the contract's written, we can pull out of it if we want. I just have to maintain their business plan. So.
How about you worked with Stephen Copeland as your broker? How did that experience work for you?
Stephen is very knowledgeable about the boat and the boat buying process. It is, I'll be honest here, it is a challenge to put down a lot of money for a boat, and these factories are not very flexible. So the broker is in a difficult position to work with the factory and an owner who's spending a lot of money and when there's hundreds of options for these boats. So it's a dark tunnel every owner goes through, is trying to nail down their options. Which navigation system, which sails do you want, which cabin version you want. So Steve knows all that stuff, but there's only so many things that the factory can do, and you have to learn, there's some things you may need to outsource as well. So that's part of the buying journey, and I think Dream is doing a much better job these days. They've got in their office in Newport, I think it is, they have a customer service department that will take over the ownership, the buying journey once you've signed on to buy.
Chris, big question. Are you a fairly happy owner with Dream Yacht and Catamaran Guru, and will you recommend this to someone else?
Yes, my wife and I are very happy with Dream and Catamaran Guru. I have already recommended them to other people. It's a good program for my situation, and they're good boats, and we're having a lot of fun. I think this is going to be part of our retirement plan in a few years, and for a boat to see it working and sailing and to spend time on it is really enjoyable.
Congratulations, Chris.
The director.
Chris is one of many very happy owners in this program. If you're interested in buying a boat and placing it in a performance program or boat as a business program, please give us a call.